In tonight's headlines, Israeli missile strikes Iran, according to US officials, although Tehran says it only shot down a few drones. Hong Kong stocks endures its worst week since late January, as tensions in the Middle East spook investors.
Multiple explosions were heard in the central Iranian city of Isfahan early morning local time. Multiple U.S. media outlets suggested it was the result of an Israeli missile strike, citing unnamed officials who were given advance notification ahead of the operation. The Israeli army has yet to comment. Iran, on the other hand, has denied claims of a missile strike. But state media confirmed the military had successfully brought down 3 small drones over Isfahan, and there were no major disruption or casualties. Iranian authorities also emphasized the country's nuclear facilities are secure, going as far as to release footage of calm scenes at the sensitive sites. But with air defenses activated, flights to and from major cities including Tehran, Isfahan and Shiraz have been suspended. Tensions have been boiling since Iran launched hundreds of missiles and drones on Israel on Sunday. The attack was in response to an Israeli strike on the Iranian consulate in Syria earlier this month, killing 7 people. Just hours before Friday's missile attack, Iran's foreign minister went on CNN to warn Israel against further retaliatory action, saying it will provoke a decisive, definitive, and regretful response from Tehran. Now that Israel did retaliate, Iran seemed to be playing down the gravity of the matter. A senior Iranian official has confirmed with Reuters that Tehran has no plans to strike back immediately. Cheryl Yun, Cable News. Palestine's latest attempt to become a full United Nations member state was once again quashed, this time by the United States. A draft resolution recommending the recognition of the state of Palestine was vetoed by the U.S.
The draft resolution has not been adopted owing to the negative vote of a permanent member of the Council.
The resolution was endorsed by 12 of 15 Security Council members, while Britain and Switzerland abstained. Apart from needing at least 9 favorable votes, a resolution will only pass if none of the Council's 5 permanent members cast a veto. Washington described the resolution as premature, even if its intentions were good.
This vote does not reflect opposition to Palestinian statehood, but instead is an acknowledgement that it will only come from direct negotiations between the parties. We believe this approach can tangibly advance Palestinian goals in a meaningful and enduring way.
Wood reiterated the U.S. remains committed to a 2-state solution. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas condemned the rejection as unfair, unethical, and unjustified. His ambassador to the UN, Riyad Mansour, said Palestine remains determined to achieve statehood. Meanwhile, Israel slammed the idea as disconnected from the reality and hit out at countries who backed the proposal.
It's very sad because your vote will only embolden Palestinian rejectionism even more and make peace almost impossible.
The setback means Palestine will remain as a permanent observer in the UN, a status it has obtained since 2012. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Fake smoke blanketed Rambler Channel this morning after a second alarm fire broke out at the Tenyu Shipyards. It's believed a tin shack on Tam Kon Shan Road burst into flames just before 9 a.m., before the fire spread to adjacent structures. About 30 workers were evacuated to safety. 4 dogs and cats were rescued from a nearby dockyard, but 2 later succumbed to their injuries. Around 70 firefighters were deployed to the scene, and the inferno was extinguished an hour later. Airport-bound traffic along Tenyi North Coastal Road was not affected, but a slip road to Tam Kon Shan Road was sealed off during the rescue operation. Police are investigating the cause of the blaze. Cathay Pacific said it had carried 1.88 million passengers in March, a 42% jump year-on-year as the Easter travel peak boosted patronage. Hong Kong's flagship carrier is now looking to fill 5,000 vacancies this year as it tries to ramp up capacity to pre-COVID levels. To speed up recruitment, the airline has launched a 5-day roadshow across the city, offering walk-in interviews. The bus will stop in Central, Tuen Wan and Tuen Mun in the coming days. Interested parties could pay a visit from today until Tuesday to learn about the positions available.
Right now we are in a very fast rebuild phase, and the biggest group of positions that we need to fill is actually flight attendants and other customer-facing positions, including customer service officers or the cargo officers, as well as some ground handling positions. In terms of pilots, right now we've got around 2,900 pilots, and we forecast that we need to recruit another 500 to support our rebuild journey to resume our capacity back to the pre-pandemic level.
After much drama, a New York court has finally banded together a 12-person jury for the historic criminal trial of Donald Trump. The defense has spent hours striking off potential jurors who expressed negative opinions of the former U.S. president. But his lawyers soon ran out of the 10 challenges available, and things moved quickly after that. Another man on the selection panel excused himself from the trial. Mark DeMuro admitted he had produced satirical drawings of Trump, some of which were published on social media.
Do I think I could be impartial? Yes. Do I think there was a snowball's chance in hell that the defense team would allow me to be part of the jury, considering the artworks that I have made? No.
In the end, a panel of 7 men and 5 women have been selected. Another 6 alternate jurors must now be picked before the trial can get underway.
The judge is asking for a lot more alternates. Normally it's 12 jurors and 2 alternates. Here it's 12 jurors and 6 alternates. But I guess the judge doesn't want to take the risk of having a mistrial if you lose the jury.
After a long day in court, Trump went on a tirade in his usual combative mood.
And I'm sitting here for days now, from morning till night, in that freezing room, freezing. Everybody was freezing in there. And all for this, the whole world is watching this hoax. You got a DA that's out of control. You have a judge that's highly conflicted. The whole thing is a mess.
Trump had pleaded not guilty to falsifying business records after he allegedly tried to cover up an affair with a porn star. Raymond Yang, Cable News. Hong Kong shares tumbled as investors were increasingly concerned about the region-wide war in the Middle East. The Hang Seng Index shed more than 2% in morning trade, nearing 16,000 points, before reversing some of the losses after lunch to close down 1%. The benchmark was down 497 points for the week, the worst weekly performance since January. Tech shares were hit hard, with the Hang Seng Tech Index retreating 2.4%. But market watchers are confident the jitters will be short-lived.
When the news that Israel took revenge on Iran, the markets in East Asia generally crashed. Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan all lost more than 3%. But then the China market, fell slightly. And the Hong Kong market also felt a little bit more. Let's hope that the conflict will not increase in size and scope, and then I think the equity markets can rebound after this.